Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and what I'm going to be doing today is I've been sent this UV resin by a company to try out. And I said, yeah, I would try it out. Now, I'm not normally great with UV resin, and it's not because it doesn't have its place. I think it's just my skill set isn't UV resin based, to be honest. But I'm going to have a go, and I'm going to give it an honest review and let you know what it's like. So I've got my UV resin torch. Now, this is quite a powerful UV resin torch because the sun here is just too erratic. So this cures it up really well in the past when I've used UV resin. And I'm going to test it in some molds. I'm going to test it in some open back bezels, a bracelet, and I'm going to put some flowers in it, a little bit of glitter in it as well, and I think some mica powder. Let's do some mica powder as well and see how that works. Well, I'm going to pop a little bit of this resin inside this bracelet, and once it's in there, move it around a little bit. And what I have found is this moves around lovely. It's not too thick, which some UV resins can be. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all my members whose names are coming up now. And if you'd like to become a member of this channel and benefit from all the additional perks, the link for that is in the description below. So now I've got this filled up, well, half filled, I'm popping the flower in. And this is when I realised that my UV skills need to be improved, because really what I should have done was I should have cured that first layer and then put the flower on. And that would have allowed me to speed up how quickly I cure this up overall, rather than do it how I've done it, which is fill it, put the flower in, and then top it right up, and then use the UV torch on. But we live and learn, and that's the great thing about all these videos and everything that I do. I tell you when I do get it right, and I tell you when I get it right. So hopefully we can learn together. So now I'm using my powerful UV torch to cure this whole thing right the way through. And it cures up lovely. But what you do need to be careful of is normally, if you've got something that's blocking your UV resin underneath, then it can prevent that from curing. But I think because there was enough gaps around the petals on this, it didn't have that problem. So now that's cured up, what I'm doing is doming it, and I'm using the same UV resin for doming, and it is viscous enough to create a lovely dome, which you'll see at the end. And it really doesn't take too long for it to cure up, which is great news as well. You get some really quick results when you use UV resin. What I'm testing now is whether you can add mica powder and glitter to the UV resin and whether it will still cure and what sort of effect it gives you. So I've put the UV resin into these two little shot glasses, and now I'm adding the mica powder and some glitter. But I'm not doing it so it's completely opaque, because I think that may cause a problem with it curing. And then just putting some in and around these open backed bezels. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my videos and help support this channel and get your name on my coffee board, the link for that is in the description below. The great thing about using open back bezels is you can cure it from the front, and then you can turn it over and shine your torch through it while it's still attached to the tape, and cure it from the back to make sure that you've got it cured all the way through. If you'd like to check out my other crafting channel where I do lots of different crafts and try out different things, then I'd love to see you over there. So please click that link. It's in the description below, and check out what I'm doing in that channel. Now I'm seeing if I can paint a mold with mica powder to see if the UV resin will pick that up, similar to what I do when I paint molds with epoxy resin. And this is quite a deep mold, and again, I wish I'd done this in perhaps 2 layers as opposed to trying it in just 1 layer, because it did take quite a lot longer to cure. I think it would have speeded it up no end by doing it in just several layers. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for me, please. It really does help and keeps my channel going. And I also want to see what this cures up like and how clear it is and what sort of colour it is once it's clear. So I'm doing it in this one mould, so without anything added to it, to find out what that is going to be like. Again, the same as epoxy resin, I did pop any bubbles that came up using my long neck lighter, and it got rid of those bubbles lovely. And if you leave it for 2 or 3 minutes before you cure it, those bubbles always come to the top anyway. curing it with my tool, and now we'll see what it comes out like. Well, these have all cured up now, so let's have a look at this one. Now, I over poured this one a little bit, and as a result, I've got some there that I will just need to pull off or trim off. Of course, it's very, very hard. And then I'm going to dome the back of these, all these pieces that have been on here, because I think that'll finish them off really nicely. This is cured up lovely. So is this one. These thicker ones, now I did this all in one pour and it did take longer to cure up. It has taken on the shape of the thing quite nicely, but it did take longer to cure up. But it works really well if you use it in layers, which is what I should have done on this one. Although this has come out, I think, really nice, and it has taken on the mica powder, which I think works very well. And I did one totally clear as well to see how nice and clear it is, and it is really crystal clear. I'm really pleased with how that one's come out. Overall, I think it's an excellent UV resin. I'm just going to dome the backs of these, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're completely finished. Well, these have all cured up now, and I've domed the backs of these. I mean, I think they have come out beautiful. I think the flower one is probably the best piece of UV resin work I have ever done. I absolutely love that. I think it would look nice as a charm or on a pendant. I'm really impressed with this. I like the way it's come out on this one. I think it's picked up that mica really pretty. It takes glitter well. Now, always be careful. You don't want to oversaturate your colours, because obviously if you make it opaque, then it isn't going to cure because the light's not going to get through. But again, I think that one has come out really well. And that one, if I hadn't over poured it, I think that one would have been really pretty as well. The flower in there, obviously you've got to be careful if you put too many flowers in, because anything behind those flowers isn't going to cure unless the light can get to it. But that is pretty well cured, and that is why when I did this one, I turned it over and domed the other. I absolutely love that. Give that to my mum. And it comes out clear. It's really hard. It's much harder than any UV resin that I've used before. Oh, I'm really impressed. And lovely and crystal clear as well. Look at that. So mine is definitely a yes. As far as I'm aware, UV resins can be quite hit and miss. Overall, amazing product. Well done, J Diction. I think for a UV resin, it is excellent. And it's kind of encouraged me to use it more. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please boop the thumbs up. It really does help my videos to get out there. I will link it in the description below, and everything else that I've used today as well. So check out the description. Take care. Enjoy your resin. Bye.